hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So before we get into today's video, just gotta say that today's video is gonna be brought to you by Beautiful Halo. And I gotta say, if you guys want to purchase some really awesome anime merchandise, everything from Boruto / Naruto to Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, click down in the description box and use my link below in order to do so. It's also a really great way to help support the channel. As a bit of an added bonus, a lot of their anime merchandise, like you saw in the video just now, is on sale right now, and there's free worldwide shipping on anything over $29. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is a time of the month where a lot of the content on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you're okay with me talking about spoilers, so I wanted to talk to you guys about this huge elephant in the room. It's actually one of the many elephants in the room that we have in the Boruto manga right now, which is Kashin Koji. So the last time we saw Kashin Koji, my man got a mud hole stomped in him and Isshiki walked it dry, to borrow some commentary from the legendary Jim Ross from the Attitude Era of the WWF. But the fact is that when we last saw Kashin Koji, my man wasn't necessarily in good shape, and it's been a few chapters now and we've had absolutely no update on where this guy is and what it is that he's actually doing. Last time we saw him, he was missing part of his arm, just like his biological father Jiraiya, because, you know, technically he's a clone of Jiraiya. But yeah, anyway, the fact is that last time we saw him, Kashin Koji was essentially retreating and we have no idea where he's gone. And I've said for a while that since they've gone the route that Kashin Koji is a Jiraiya clone, because this is the case and because Kashin Koji was starting to get some of Jiraiya's memories popping back into his head, it's one of those things where this is clearly something that is done for fan service. And I feel like if you're going to go the full fan service rate, if that's the way that you're going to do, there are two things that you absolutely need to have happen. I'm not necessarily a big fan of this, but I think that these two things need to happen. Number one, like I've talked about before, Kashin Koji needs to meet Naruto. That's something that so many people want to see, and you kind of have to cash in on that. That's something that, going all the way back to the war arc, that was something that a lot of people said, well, what if Jiraiya found a way to be reanimated? It'd be really cool to have him see Naruto control the QB. And like Masashi Kishimoto talked about, that was something that he wasn't comfortable actually drawing. So I could kind of see that being something that maybe if it's Ikimoto that is drawing the art, and because Kashin Koji is a Jiraiya clone and he's already in the story, maybe that's something he greenlights. However, this is the other aspect of it right here, which is a reunion with the legendary sannin. And I think that that is something that could potentially happen. And looking back at the Boruto manga, again, I'm not a fan of it, but I think that they've laid the groundwork for it. So the last time we heard of one of the legendary sannin being mentioned in the story was when Naruto was looking at Boruto's karma seal. They're walking with Kawaki and they bring up Tsunade and the Byakugou seal, and they bring up the fact that Orochimaru told Mitsuki that the Byakugou seal has ties going all the way back to the Sage of Six Paths. And so because the Byakugou seal is Otsutuski related, and because they did drop that right there, and we know that Kashin Koji has a lot of intel on the actual karma seal, even if it's only secondhand information that Amado gave him, even if that's the case, even if Amado only told him just a little bit of information, that is still quite a bit that you can actually work off of. And it would not surprise me if Kashin Koji, because he was revealed to be a pawn of Amado, but also because he's worked with Amado for so long, potentially has all the same information that Amado has about the karma seal, outside of a few smaller details, because Amado kept him in the dark a little bit because he was going to sacrifice him as a pawn. But the fact is if you have this reunion of the legendary sannin, I think you could do something special here. So I don't think you're going to see the three of them team up to fight. I don't think that's going to happen. Tsunade is approaching her 70s right now. Orochimaru definitely could fight, but at the same time, I don't think that you can do a fight with the legendary sannin if you don't have all three of them lined up together. I think that that will be the ultimate fan service moment, but right now the power scales are way too busted in order to even attempt to have something like that happen. However, I think that having the three of them work together to find out more about the mysteries of karma and potentially find out how there's a tied to the Byakugou seal, that could be something to where Kashin Koji is able to make up for the fact that he doesn't have the full expertise of Amado, and yet at the same time, because Tsunade has the Byakugou seal and because Orochimaru's clearly found something, I think that this could be a good way to have this pseudo legendary sannin working together and have them work together in a way to where it actually benefits the story, and potentially they find a way to prevent Boruto from being fully taken over by Momoshiki. Because here's the fact of the matter. Boruto right now is supposedly at 80% when it comes to his karma seal, and yet at the same time we know that the Boruto versus Kawaki fight takes place 4 years after the versus Momoshiki arc, and we're 3 years away from that moment in the manga timeline. So if you look at that, realistically, Boruto should have already have been taken over by Momoshiki. So what that tells me right there is that they found a way to slow the progression of the karma seal. And I think that you're gonna find something to where if that happens, they tie it all back into that Byakugou seal. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the legendary sannin being used as fan service, in particular when it comes to Kashin Koji being a substitute for Jiraiya, but I think that if they do something like that, that is realistically the best way to actually use the character. Anything else is going to feel like a retread. So if you have Boruto training with Kashin Koji, it's going to feel too much like Boruto training with the real Jiraiya, which is what he did during the time slip arc, and it's going to feel too much like Naruto training with Jiraiya in the Naruto manga. I think that this is a good way to actually shake it up a little bit. Again, I'm not a huge fan of actual fan service when it comes to some of the legacy characters, but I think this would be a great way to actually pay things off when it comes to that chapter of the legendary sannin, because even Orochimaru had a moment in the 4th Great Ninja War to where he even reflected what things might have been like if Jiraiya was alive, and it was pretty ambiguous at that point. But the fact is that this could be something that also pays off the fact that after Kakashi and Naruto got Sasuke and Orochimaru pardoned, and Orochimaru said that demons like himself and Sasuke would be needed whenever the next great war happens, I think this would be a good way to have Orochimaru fully earn his pardon. However, I want to know from you guys, how do you want Kashin Koji to be used, and where do you think a line needs to be drawn when it comes to fan service? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Have an awesome day, guys.